Why do all the Abrahamic faiths worship Saturn? And what is the ultimate origins of these holy books? Some written in stone. You may have noticed an explosion of these kinds of videos. This evil Saturn cube. So what's really going on with Saturn? Why is he Kronos, the king of time? What you're about to see has never been shown before. Every man, woman and child who comes across this video will know for certain why he is Kronos, and why every single culture for thousands of years made sure to pass this on to future generations in various different ways. This knowledge has the potential to unite all of the world, because once you know the origins of all these stories and all these structures, you'll be free of doubt. And in this newfound freedom, the freedom from confusion, you will fill slowly but surely with peace. This is the story of all of us, of all of creation. From what I've discovered, I'd like to put a proposal to rename this structure. As to name a thing for what it is to take its power. From what I now know, this could be called the Saturn Pyramid, or the Fire Pyramid, or the Planetary Pyramid. But let's leave that for another time and do it together. So let's get started on the greatest education mankind is long overdue to receive. Many of us know about the scale, the 432 versus the 440. Many have set out to discover where this came from and what it's all about. A bit over a week ago, I went on Ryan Seven's channel and presented something that was lost to time. As far as I know, this is a world first in thousands of years, right in front of us the whole time. To now finally make sense of terms like the angel numbers and what the ancients were trying to communicate across time. This series is laid out in such a way to lay first the foundation and build up to what I'm about to present to you now. We learned that the Aztecs and the Maya used a specific method to calculate the synodic periods, and we learned, by doing so, the reasons Mercury has always been called the messenger. Through a mathematically harmonic, scientific and verifiable way, without needing any analysis of all myths and endless speculation, there was always a profound logic. So we know that in the Maya and in the Aztec, the 819 is Mercury's 117 days by 7, and expanding it out to 20 times 819 to the synodic period of Mars. Then we find that Mercury can weave his magic through all the other planets' synodic periods, and him alone. But as far as we knew, this is an Aztec Maya count system for the synodic periods of the planets that was eventually solved and cracked by the experts. But as far as we knew until today, this 819 and the synodic periods of the Aztec count was nowhere to be found in Egypt. I was already aware that the base of the Great Pyramid was 2 cycles of Saturn's synodic period, as it's 756 feet across at the base on each side. I was already surprised that nobody had come across this before, that nobody spoke about this, that 378 days times 2 is the base of the Great Pyramid. And I've been surprised that the 117 hertz in the King's Chamber, and that being Mercury's synodic period, also not getting much time in the sun. Another measure I caught in Charles Cos' video about the Great Pyramid. In the Minoan cycle for Saturn and Jupiter conjunctions, 960 years or half, 481 years, corresponds to the Saturn and Jupiter conjunctions. So both the base and the height of the Great Pyramid are directly corresponding to Saturn and Jupiter conjunctions. Before we proceed any further, there's something you must know about L. Many know that Saturn has been given the name El or Al, and this name is well known throughout all the Abrahamic faiths and religions. Many have connected the name El to the number 37, mainly because it looks similar. But again, I'm going to show scientific proof that 37 is L. These have been termed the angel numbers, and until now, always thought it was just a nice name. So L rules the angels. So if we take L and times it by the footprint of the Great Pyramid at 13 acres, we get the height of the Great Pyramid in feet, 481, and the Great Conjunction half cycle of 481 years. The direct correlations to Saturn continue. Let me just slip this one in here for some fun. L times 33, or the Christ, equals 1221. And what happened on the 21st of the 12th, 2020? A great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. So getting back to the angel numbers and L, can we discover the never discovered before synodic periods of the planets? The exact same count as the Aztec and the Maya, all the way over, worlds apart, in Giza. As a quick reminder, here are the numbers for the synodic periods of the Aztec and the Maya. Saturn was 6 times 819. Jupiter was 19 times 819. Venus at 5 times 819 and Mars at 20 times 819. I want you to take a look at these numbers. Never found, but possibly never looked for, synodic periods of the Aztecs in Giza. So if we want to find the synodic periods of the Aztec Maya in Giza, how do we do it? Do we use L and the angels? And the most basic 2 measures of the Great Pyramid, half the base by the height. Now I want you to burn this number into your mind as we now share with the world what had long been forgotten. So here we go. Half the base by the height of the Great Pyramid of Giza equals 181818 divided by the angels derived from L. So 181818 divided by 111 equals the Aztec Maya count for the synodic period of Mars. Next cab off the rank, 181818 divided by 222 equals 819, the Mayan Aztec count for Mercury. Let's divide 181818 by 444. We get the Maya Aztec count for Venus, 4,095 days. Now what happens when we divide half the base by the height by L? We get 181818 by 37 equals the Maya Aztec count for the synodic period of Saturn. Without going too much into it here, the Saturn and Jupiter conjunctions are said to be when an avatar is born. Many say that the Christ was born around or near a great conjunction. Also, Muhammad was born on a conjunction of Saturn and Venus. There's lots of stories about lots of things like this. But suffice to say, the Bethlehem star has been suggested to be the great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. So what can we find at the Great Pyramid that might suggest that the great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter is the Bethlehem star? Let's do some simple math. What is the sum of the Aztec Maya synodic cycles of Saturn and Jupiter? Saturn at 4,914 days plus Jupiter at 15,561 days equals 20,475 days. So if we want to find the story of the Bethlehem star in stone, we take half the base by the height divided by Iosos Christos, or the angel number 888, and we get 204.75. But we aren't done with the angel numbers. Can we find the tilt of Earth? 181818 divided by 777 equals 23.4. We are far from done with the miracles. But for the moon, we know that 6 times 6 times 6 is 2,160. The diameter of the moon, 2,160 miles. But before we go any further, I need to introduce you to a number the entire world will soon become very familiar with. There are some that know about this number. It can be found in nature in many, many places. 273 or 27.3. If you want to see 20 minutes of everything 273 in nature, go and check out Sacred Geometry Decoded. He's got so many. So let's now take the known size of the moon, 6 by 6 by 6, or the angel number 666, and divide it into half the base by the height, 181818, divided by 666, equals 273. Before we go for this one, did these very sophisticated and intelligent people build this great structure? And is it something akin to Cinderella's slipper? Does the avatar plug back in like Neo in the Matrix? Is the empty sarcophagus the real Cinderella's slipper? And can we discover, using these mathematical harmonic ratios at the Great Pyramid and other locations, the synodic periods and sizes, distance and speeds of the planets, to awaken all the avatars back once again to remember?